Georgia Tech and Clemson have been competing in athletics since the late 19th century. But today, the Jackets and Tigers will meet on the softball diamond for the first time ever. Welcome to Atlanta for ACC Network Extra Saturday afternoon softball, a new chapter in one of the South's oldest rivalries unfolding this afternoon here at Georgia Tech's Mewborn Field. I'm Richard Muster with Haley Downs as we look at the starting lineup for the game this afternoon. The visiting Clemson Tigers. They come in here playing their sixth game of the year, 3-2 overall, 1-2 in league play with a win over Virginia Tech. Valerie Cagle, a big part of this Clemson lineup.
Valerie Cagle, she's going to throw high velocity, hitting the high 60s, has an excellent screwball and mixes speeds really well. So it's going to be key for this Georgia Tech offense to pick a spot and get ahead of it.
In the circle for Georgia Tech this afternoon, an experienced freshman in Blake Nelliman. Her Yellow Jacket team looking for their first conference win of the young season.
Blake Nelliman, also a freshman who can hit some high 60s. She has an excellent up pitch as well, hitting the rise ball, will mix speeds, and throws a really sneaky pitch. She keeps her balls planed well and keeps hitters off their feet. She works well when she's ahead, so the key for this Clemson offense is going to be to attack early.
This is a busy day of softball at Mewborn Field, a part of a conference pod scheduling matchup. Earlier today, a couple of games between Florida State and Virginia Tech, and now Clemson and Georgia Tech closing out the day with a doubleheader between these two teams yet to come tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, both Clemson and Georgia Tech coming off of two failed series, with Tech dropping all three against Florida State, Clemson taking one, dropping two against Virginia Tech. So both teams looking to really kind of bounce back, and it's going to happen offensively.
And when you consider the preseason poll in the Atlantic Coast Conference, these two teams had a tough draw to start off the season. Clemson going up against a Virginia Tech team that was picked second in the league. Georgia Tech going up against a Florida State team that was picked to win the ACC.
Picked first, yeah. Starting out the gate strong, and not even high ACC preseason rankings, but both teams getting top 25 bids preseason as well.
Freshman Mackenzie Clark, a dynamic center fielder for Clemson, will lead things off for the Tigers.
I love Clark in this leadoff spot. She's really athletic and aggressive, a highly touted recruit.
Nelliman gets a swinging strike one to start our ball game. Temperatures in the 50s finally. It's considerably warmer than it was earlier today here in Atlanta. A bunch. Nelliman's throw to first is not in time. Clark with her speed. Talk about dynamic. She's aboard very quickly.
That is leadoff energy right there. That's exactly what you need in the leadoff spot. Your job is to get on base and then let your teammates get you over. Clark did her job. Really sneaky bunt. Got her barrel out. Forces Nelliman to work quick.
Tigers have a base runner, and now here is Grace Mattimore, their first baseman. Called strike. And again, Nelliman's ahead of a hitter at 0-1. Mattimore once played at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point before transferring to Clemson. Again, this is a second-year Clemson program. They have a combination of a lot of young recruits and some experienced transfers as they build. It's almost like a startup operation, and everyone, like a Grace Mattimore, very excited to be in on the ground floor of this Clemson program that, again, had its inaugural season cut off prematurely last year.
And this Clemson team, yes, very young, fairly inexperienced overall, but putting up some experienced numbers on the board. Ending when the season got cut short last year, they were coming off of a 11 out of 12 winning streak. They were getting hot at the right time. So I think we see nothing but potential here with this Clemson program.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count here. Runner at first base with no one out in the Clemson first. Count evens at 2-2. Bianca Mora, by the way, is your catcher for the Yellow Jackets this afternoon.
Mora splitting some time with Calf behind the dish, and I think that's really coming into play when you think about the number of games that have been played in such a short amount of time. It's important to have depth back there.
2-2 is going to find some green in the outfield, and Clark with her speed is going to go first to third in the blink of an eye. Tigers have runners at the corners in the first inning.
Excellent base running by Clark. As soon as she saw it down, there was no hesitation. She's taking third base. Great work there by Matamore, kind of digging out that inside pitch, getting just enough on it to find some grass.
Now here's Valerie Cagle for Clemson. A true two-way player. You'll see her in the circle in the bottom of this first inning. And then batting in the 3-hole as well for this Clemson team. You see the Tigers head coach, John Rittman. We'll see how they play things with first and third and no one out.
And a hitter as dynamic as Cagle, very dangerous situation to be in if I'm Blake Nelliman.
Cagle, another experienced freshman. Fouling one straight back.
I like that label, experienced freshman.
Those who get a second chance for their freshman year. They're the super seniors.
Right.
And the experienced freshmen.
It's a lot better than a COVID freshman that we can't figure out exactly what the label is going to be. That's a cut right there with that high pitch.
Matamore will take second, and that's actually the runner for Matamore right there, as Jaden Cheek came on at first base. So the Tigers utilizing their speed very well early. Big pitch there by Nelliman, though.
That's
got a tough hitter.
Work. Great work there by Nelliman, attacking the zone, painting the corners.
We'll look at the Yellow Jackets defense. Black and Soleo on the left side of the diamond are freshmen. Zeitler and Awald on the right side of the infield. Stanford, Huckabee, and Roper in the outfield. We mentioned Moore, the catcher, and of course Nelliman in the circle. She's been very consistent with first pitch strikes ahead of another Clemson hitter, this time Marissa Gombarda. It's 0-1. Changing speeds, it's 1-1. Gombarda already with 2 home runs on the year. A .385 average coming into the game. And again, she is a local product of the Atlanta area, hailing from up in Sewanee. Working her away.
Yeah, with the talent hub for travel ball softball, high school softball in the Southeast, Clemson is just such an ideal candidate to build a program with all of the local talent that there is.
I think that's only going to fuel this rivalry even more so. And again, the first time these two teams have ever met.
And this has been a long time coming. I remember being middle school, high school, thinking, why doesn't Clemson have a softball team? It just makes so much sense. And it's just a really exciting thing to see these two teams match up on the Mew.
1 out here in the top of the first, and a 2-2 pitch coming here to Gombarda. Popped up on the infield, 2-way.
That's a great pitch choice by Nelliman to kind of pound inside. She really came in on her hands and jammed Gombarda up.
Designated player, Abby Stewart.
Now here's the Clemson DP, Abby Stewart.
Rocking the glasses today. The clear frames, very trendy. And the earrings, which has been a rule change for Coach Eileen Morales. The key coming into this season was to just, relax, have fun, be grateful to play the game. So a piece of that was to allow the girls to wear earrings.
She has to express herself a little bit. Another first pitch strike, a foul ball back. Nelliman trying to pitch out of a jam here. If she could leave 2 runners stranded in scoring position here in the first inning. Stewart just 1 for 13 to start the season. That was pretty well located, but misses inside.
Stewart also brings a lot of power potential, a very strong hitter and technically sound.
3-0. And you've got the runner Cheek at second. You've got Clark at third. Umpire wanted to correct the count. It is, in fact, 3-1 now with that miss. Big opportunity for Abby Stewart, trying to give her Tigers the lead here in the top of the first inning. Fouled out of play, and we're going to go full at 3-2. Ken Clemson coming in here off a series with Virginia Tech. They won their home opener on Thursday, then lost the next two to the Hokies. Bases are loaded now as Stewart draws the walk.
Not a bad choice to throw a rise ball in that situation, trying to get her to chase, but that one was just too far out of the zone.
The catcher, Mora, will visit with her pitcher. Cami Pereira is next for Clemson. Tigers' second baseman, sporting a .385 average.
Number 12,
5 for 13 so far, including a double and a couple of RBI.
Pereira is going to bring a lot of quickness, athleticism to this 5-hole, and in this situation, you're just looking to find a gap. With the speed that you have on second and third, a base hit's as good as a 2 RBI.
Ahead of the hitter again at 0-1. Pereira is one of 3 transfers from nearby Furman University who joined the Clemson program. Big opportunity to play for a major conference program. Player with good speed who can bunt and slap, but here with the bases loaded, is interested in trying to drive in run. She's behind on the count at 0-2.
She is. That last one was not the pitch to hit. That's exactly what Nelliman is trying to do, try to keep her off balance and get her to swing at things that aren't her pitch that she can hit well.
Fouled away. We'll do it again at 0-2. Bases loaded, top of the first inning in the opening game of this 3-game set. One and two.
Not going to see a lot of strikeouts from Pereira. She's going to be a contact hitter and make things happen.
Just out of the reach of Mallory Black. Jen Soleo was there as well.
A lot of youth there on the left side of that infield. You've got 2 freshmen, highly touted freshmen. You've got the 6A, 7A Georgia Players of the Year partnering up there in that 5-6 spot. It's a good look by Pereira.
Count even at 2-2. Nelliman takes pride in her ability to deliver the big strikeout. Pereira, as we've seen, with a great eye at the plate. Nelliman gets her hitter, and the Yellow Jackets get out of the jam as the Tigers leave the bases loaded in the top of the first. Blake Nelliman pitched Georgia Tech out of a jam in the top of the first inning. Now the Yellow Jackets bats will go to work here in the bottom half of the first on their home field. Here's the lineup for Alien Morales' team. Emma Koff at the top of the lineup. ACC Player of the Week last weekend, had a terrific series to get the Yellow Jackets off to a good start in the 2021 campaign.
She did. Emma Kauf was red hot in that opening weekend. Well over a 600 average for the weekend.
Meanwhile, in the circle for Clemson, we've already seen her at the plate. Now we see her in the circle. That is experienced freshman Valerie Cagle out of Yorktown, Virginia, who has had some big games already in her young Clemson career.
Cagle is a power hitter and a power pitcher. She's going to hit some high velocity. She's very aggressive, pounds the zone, shows a lot of leadership for such a young player. She'll mix speeds well.
That one in the dirt. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Cagle last year, a big pitching victory over a ranked Georgia team. And then this past Thursday, a victory against Virginia Tech. And mind you, the Hokies came into the weekend ranked 14th in the nation.
And that's what you want from your pitcher. You want those who want to be in the circle in those big-time pitching scenarios. And that's exactly what Cagle brings to the table.
2-1 on Emma Kauff.
You've got 2 hungry, experienced freshmen right here going head-to-head.
Chopper to third will take care of the Yellow Jackets leadoff hitter. Casey Bigham, you just saw at third base, making the play for the Tigers. Gilstrap at short, Pereira the second baseman, Matamore at first base. Oda, Clark, and Gumbarda are in the outfield. As you see, Marissa Gumbarda right there. Clark very good, patrolling center field defensively. With that speed, we saw her put to use in the top of the first inning on the bases.
Going to cover a lot of ground out there.
Yellow Jackets right fielder Brianna Roper at the plate. 2 balls and no strikes.
Roper, another one coming into the season, hitting the ball, seeing really well. Struggled a bit against Florida State. I think the higher velocity that they were seeing against those Florida State pitchers kind of tripped them up. So definitely looking to change up the approach, get back to the basics, and make some contact.
Junior from Woodstock is in a good spot right here. It's 3 balls and no strikes, and Cagle seems a little bit upset with herself right now.
Cagle not able to find that zone, working some good pitches just right off.
Taking, it's a 4-pitch walk. And the Yellow Jackets have their first base runner with 1 out.
Number 13.
JoJo Hyatt will visit the circle to talk with Cagle. Also the veteran shortstop, Ansley Gilstrap, in there. Gilstrap, an older player, will turn 24 this coming week. That's just the type of person you need with a young program like this Clemson team. Someone who came in.
Completely agree with. There's nothing but potential with this Clemson squad, but I'd say the only gap is having more experienced leadership on the field, and Gilstrap definitely brings that. One
of those players who can help build the culture. Here's Cameron Stanford for the Yellow Jackets with a runner at first and 1 out.
Stanford, one of the few bright spots coming out of that Florida State series offensively, going 2 for 3 in game 1.
A little different look from Cagle right there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cameron Stanford hitting .240. Home run and 6 runs driven in.
And you talk about some veteran leadership. That's definitely what Cameron Stanford's going to bring to the Georgia Tech squad.
Hyatt blocked it well, but no way to prevent Roper from advancing to second. So runner in scoring position with 1 out. Turning into a high-pressure first inning for both of these young pitchers.
That one not missing by much.
Cagle has been close. Count is full at 3-2.
Yeah, the zone's through the first inning, looking pretty tight, and you've got a very patient lineup with the Georgia Tech offense. They are not afraid to get base on balls.
Changed speeds and got her looking. That's a gutsy pitch on 3-2.
Beautiful pitch there by Cagle. Look at it, just floats right in there. Stanford not able to pull the trigger. That's one with 2 strikes. You got to get a bat on it.
So here is Trisha Awald with that runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Again, they'll talk things over. Almost looks about mechanics here as much as anything right now with Cagle.
Yeah, I think you saw a little bit of frustration from Cagle there with the tight zone. So I think here it's just kind of stay within yourself, stick with what you know. That's Coach Jamison walking back to the dugout, primary pitching coach for the Clemson Tigers. Came from Furman.
That's the connection that leads to all of those players who
you'll
came
see a lot of that
to help lay the foundation for this Clemson program. Chance for Trisha Awald to drive in a run. Yellow Jackets looking for an early lead. Strike 1 on the first baseman. Awald has been a super tough out this year, hitting .500, 12 for 24. Couple of dingers, 5 runs driven in. Chopper to third. And again, Bigham takes care of a couple of balls in this first inning as the Yellow Jackets go out in the first. No runs, a runner left at second. Clemson and Georgia Tech had opportunities in the first inning, but unable to cash in, so we're scoreless heading to the second here in Atlanta. John Rittman is the head coach at Clemson in his second season of this program, which launched officially back in March of 2017 on the field for the first time last year, and they were very good in their abbreviated inaugural season, going 19-8, including a 5-1 mark in the ACC before the shutdown. Of course, he is well known around softball circles. 18 seasons as the head coach at Stanford, piling up 750 wins out in Palo Alto. 10 years on the United States national team coaching staff. A guy who obviously likes a challenge starting up this Clemson program. I think there's a lot of coaches, though, that would look at the facilities and the opportunity at Clemson and say, yeah, sign me up.
Sign me up. And I think Rittman's an excellent choice. This is a coach that knows how to build a program, knows how to win, and play at the highest level.
I'm sure they were looking for someone who could sell a vision as well, because when he got there was no ballpark quite yet. But the ballpark that exists now, that grew out of those plans, it's a beauty, McWhorter Stadium in Clemson, and they have drawn exceptionally well.
It's immaculate, and I think you're right. It's hard to visualize that, especially to a 16-year-old kid who you're trying to recruit, tell them what it could look like and show them all the potential, and I think he did a great job of telling that story, and things are falling into place well. He
also did a good job of going around the Clemson area, players in the South Carolina region playing college ball, including Ansley Gilstrap right here, who really got jammed on that bunt attempt. Let's watch this again.
Ooh, yeah, that's tough. That bunt attempt got her fingers a little around the bat. Looked like it clipped it on the way in.
A rise ball has to be terribly difficult to get down.
It is. That's not the one you want to bunt. You have to stay on top of it. Let's see how much of it got a hold of her hand. Ooh, yeah, on the pullback. Looks like it swiped. And in this weather, that does not feel good. She's getting that swing warmed back up.
And Ansley Gilstrap turning 24 this coming week, and who has gone through a lot just to get back on the diamond. Player who had to miss last season entirely because of a serious cerebral and neurological injury. She went 1,000+ days between her last game at USC Upstate to making her regular season debut with Clemson this year.
And that's quite a story, and that's another reason that makes her such a strong leader for this very young team. Somebody who can go 1,000 days without playing a game and come back in with the same passion. I think it gives you a really good perspective on the field that other people want to emulate.
Nelliman's 2-2 pitch is skied to right. Brianna Roper hauling it in for out number 1. Eileen Morales, of course, is the Yellow Jackets head coach. Former standout player for the Yellow Jackets, now in her 4th season leading this program.
Eileen Morales has really elevated this program in multiple different capacities over the years. First as a very highly decorated player, then as a student assistant, moving into the assistant coach, and now at the helm of this program. And you can see in just 4 years' time, there's been a lot of bright spots, and I think this is the first year that you're starting to see all of that come together from Eileen Morales' vision.
1 ball and no strikes on the Clemson catcher JoJo Hyatt as she bats with 1 out in the Tigers' 2nd inning. Count evening at 1-1. In the preseason poll, Clemson was picked 6th in the 13-team ACC. The Yellow Jackets picked 9th.
Yeah, I think we expected a fairly high preseason ranking there for the Clemson Tigers. Though, you know, they didn't get a ton of games under their belt, but they definitely performed when they did.
2 balls and a strike with Casey Bigham on deck. Foul ball evens it at 2-2. Hyde, another one of the players local to the Atlanta area, coming out of that great Buford program. The Wolves excel, it seems like, in all areas of their athletics.
Yeah, Buford definitely no stranger to D1 ball. Georgia Tech has had their fair share of Buford alums in multiple sports, really.
I'm not going to see her really, so I might as well go just run around the country and work hard and travel.
Count going full to 3-2.
Seeing some deep counts so far through this Clemson lineup.
It'll get a little deeper here as she fouls one off. We'll have to do it again at 3-2.
A lot of battle. We're adding a lot of pitches to Blake Nelliman's pitch count, which we know isn't going to be a reason to take her out of the game. We don't have pitch counts in softball. However, it does, add to the endurance, adds to the fatigue that will develop throughout the game.
Nelliman pitched as a starter yesterday against Florida State. A 1-run ball game yesterday. Nelliman worked the first couple of innings, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits. Swing and a miss. She's got a strikeout here. She struck out 4 in 2 innings yesterday. She's got 3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 here this afternoon.
That's a beautiful pitch by Blake Nelliman. Look at that low rise ball. It comes in on a plane that looks fat, and then at the last minute, that upspin carries it out of the zone.
2-way and the base is empty for the number 9 hitter in the Clemson lineup. This is Casey Bigham.
Woo.
That one off the foot of Nelliman. Soleo on the deflection, and it goes 1-6-3. The Tigers go in order in the top of the 2nd inning. Good defense by the Yellow Jackets, and this game remains scoreless here in Atlanta. Mewborn Field here in Atlanta is a gorgeous, well-located facility, and as we play in the twilight, it's almost a different look to what we see. Love it in the broad daylight, love it at night with the Atlanta downtown skyline. Here in kind of the golden hour, it takes on a whole different look. It's special, it seems like, at all times of day.
It does. It's a vision any time of day.
Crosby Huckabee to lead things off for the Yellow Jackets here in the 2nd inning. And you took a look at how the teams were ranked in the preseason by the ACC coaches. This is the first big weekend of conference play featuring pods, if you will. Valerie Cagle delivering ball 1 to Huckabee. Here in Atlanta today, you've got Florida State, Virginia Tech, Clemson, and Georgia Tech. Ground ball to third. Bigham has been way busy so far. Her third play of the afternoon, and there's one out. The leadoff hitter retired here in the Georgia Tech second.
So far through the first half of this Georgia Tech lineup, Cagle is doing an excellent job of throwing a heavy ball, drawing those ground balls, and Bingham doing a very excellent job of scooping them up and finishing the job.
Now here's one of the Yellow Jackets' true freshmen, Mallory Black. Again, the left side of the infield for the Yellow Jackets, 2 newcomers. And that's asking a lot. It's showing a tremendous amount of confidence on the part of Eileen Morales in the likes of Mallory Black and Jen Saleo.
And Mallory Black historically is more of a middle infielder, but she's showing some really good reads at third base. And this is one of those situations where she who hits is going to find a spot in the field. So as being as diverse as possible in the field is going to increase your chances of getting a spot in that lineup. And Black's doing an excellent job of capitalizing on her opportunities.
A .238 average so far, spotted in the 6th hole in the lineup.
It's a great pitch by Cagle. Painting that outside corner. Black, not quite sure if she wants to hit it.
Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bianca Moore on deck. Tried to go outside to her once again. Count evens at 2-2. Both of these teams in the midst of 6 games in 4 days, all against conference rivals. Try to get Black to chase. She's been disciplined now. Work the count out to 3-2.
Yeah, great pitch selection here by Black. And if you look at the rest of this true freshman class, you will see some very decorated players coming in. This is the 17th ranked freshman class coming in this season.
Handled nicely by Bigham as she waited on it. That internal clock told her just how much time she had to work with, and now they're 2 down.
4th ground ball out to Bigham.
Number 3, catcher, Bianca Moore.
She's another player who's made an adjustment. Who played second base previously at Furman. Whole different look over there at third.
Wildly different. I mean, the instincts, the movements are all going to be different. It takes a lot of attention.
With 2 down, Cagle's retired 4 in a row as she faces the Yellow Jackets catcher, Bianca Mora.
Mora has always been a reliable hitter, especially a hitter off the bench in those pinch hit scenarios. But preseason, Mora has absolutely shown out and kind of established herself as a top contender for a spot in that starting 9.
Bailey Zeitler on deck. Scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd inning here on the Yellow Jackets home field in Atlanta. Two teams will play again tomorrow with a doubleheader beginning at 1:30. After this conference pod this weekend, the scheduling norm the rest of the way in conference play will be 4-game series. Grounded foul. 8 4-game series against your conference rivals. 2 3-game series, if you will, as a part of this pod. Florida State and Virginia Tech, of course, wound up playing on neutral ground. Clemson opened up the season with the home series against Virginia Tech before both of them made the trek down 85 in here to Atlanta. Worked her low. Yellow Jackets hitters have shown a lot of discipline. Haven't been able to break through quite yet. But Cagle's wanted them to chase, and they haven't done much of that.
That is a key element behind Eileen Morales and Coach Reese Mariconda's vision offensively.
Bottom dropped out of that one. And Cagle winds up getting the Yellow Jackets 1-2-3 here in the second. Pitchers duel in the works here in Atlanta. Scoreless as we move to the 3rd inning at Mewborn Field on the Georgia Tech campus in Atlanta. Clemson goes back to the top of the order. It'll be their second time around, facing Georgia Tech freshman Blake Nelliman.
So far, we saw some bright spots in the top of the order with Clark and Matamore getting two up, 2 on, and then kind of quiet ever since. And so I think the key piece to the second time through this lineup is to capitalize and manufacture some runs. Saw 3 strikeouts so far, one of them looking, so really important to pick the right pitches.
Clark out of the leadoff spot, bunted her way on to set up what eventually became a bases-loaded opportunity for the Tigers there in the first inning, one that Nelliman got out of.
Yeah, a huge opportunity that Blake Nelliman did an excellent job shutting down.
Clark takes inside, and she was a big recruiting pickup for John Rittman. Clark was a player who was thinking about SEC schools for a long time, and then Clemson got on the radar, and at first she's thinking, Clemson? I haven't heard much about them in softball, because it was brand new and a brand new opportunity, and there she rips one to left field. 2 hits for her this afternoon.
Again, doing her job in that leadoff spot, getting on base. Look at those hands. You saw that slight hesitation. That timing was excellent. Got the barrel across. Stayed on plane. Great work there by Clark.
Now you have to be concerned about the running game here. We've already seen Clark's speed when she went first to third in the blink of an eye back in the first inning. First pitch running here and able to beat the throw.
With a hitter like Clark, or a player like Clark, a single is as good as a double, and she displays that excellently here.
Her second stolen base in as many attempts on the young season. 2-0 now on Grace Matamore.
And we've seen this a handful of times from, both catchers on Georgia Tech's squad not being able to capitalize on that steal attempt.
Matamore singled her last time. In a good spot here now.
Yeah, Matamore fought off an inside pitch in a really great way and was able to kind of muscle it into the grass. And I think that same hit today would lead to a run.
A walk here is the second issued by Nelliman. Runners at first and second.
72, Valerie Cagle.
And now here's Valerie Cagle, Nelliman's opposite number. Tigers pitcher with another big opportunity. It was a similar spot back in the first inning. Clemson had runners in scoring position. Cagle struck out to begin Nelliman's escape act.
And there's pitching coach Marty McDaniel. We talk about the highly touted recruiting class, and I would throw him into that mix there. This is a great get for Coach Eileen Morales, a great addition to this staff. Brings a ton of experience, was a part of 3 Women's College World Series appearances with the University of Tennessee. Coached the likes of Monica Abbott, which is one of the biggest names in our sport. Definitely a pitching coach that is very smart, likes to study his pitchers and work to their strengths.
1 ball and no strikes on Valerie Cagle. Cagle, a .231 hitter on this season, but last year, a player who produced in big spots. She was second in the nation in RBI with 36 when the shutdown came last March.
And Cagle is, I think Blake Nelliman is going to be a mortal enemy here of Cagle. When you talk about her opportunities in her approach, she is one that will fall for the rise ball, and it's hard for her to lay off, and that is Nelliman's bread and butter. And I'll make a quick correction. Coach McDaniel, 7 Women's College World Series appearances.
3 balls and no strikes on Cagle, with Clark at second and Matamore at first.
Almost deja vu. It's a great at bat there by Cagle. Nelliman not able to find the zone.
That loads them up. And here is Marissa Gumbarda. What a spot to be in now if you're Blake Nelliman.
And exactly the one that Coach Rittman wants in this situation is Gumbarda.
Gumbarda, preseason All-ACC, a former Southern Conference Player of the Year 2 years ago at Furman. She had a school record 17 home runs 2 years ago for the Paladins. Fouling one back. Coming off of that season, she took a leap of faith in herself and put her name in the transfer portal. And little did she know, Clemson would come calling. Didn't have to go very far, and giving her the opportunity to play in a major conference.
Yeah, and that's a tough choice to make, having such a successful career, first couple years of her career at Furman. I think, you know, Coach Jamison joining the staff had a lot to do with that and understanding the type of player that she is.
Georgia Tech was among the schools that reached out to her.
It's a great grab back there by Mora.
A ball and 2 strikes. You've got Clark at third, Matamore at second. Cagle, the runner, at first base. We'll do it again at 1 and 2.
It's a good spot there by Nelliman. Really important that she does not miss high on Gumbarda in this situation.
Another 1-2. Mora kept it at her feet. Peeked down to that runner at third. She knows that Clark has such tremendous speed.
Yeah, even with the ball in your hand, you got to make sure you keep your eyes on a runner like Clark.
Pulled well foul. Gave you a little bit of an idea, though, of her ability to turn on it and drive it a long way.
A very long foul.
One swing of the bat could change this game in a hurry. Scoreless here in the top of the third. Got under it, a towering fly ball. Stanford makes the catch. Clark is going to come in and score standing. On the sacrifice fly, Clemson gets on the board. It's 1-0 in favor of the Tigers.
And that's what you want. You know, with less than 2 outs, there's a lot of things that can happen for an RBI. Obviously, Gumbarda would have liked to square that up a little bit more, but it was deep enough that Clark could capitalize.
Jackets did a good job to hold the other runners. So with 1 out, here's Abby Stewart. Stewart walked her last time. That was in the midst of that first inning when the Tigers loaded the bases but came away empty.
Yeah, Stewart, another one who's a very patient hitter, has excellent pitch selection. Nelliman's really got to kind of hone in and paint those corners. She's missing too far down and too far up.
Cami Pereira's on deck. Nelliman facing the number 5 hitter in the Clemson lineup. Good pitch there.
Beautiful pitch.
Stewart looking for her second hit of this young season. She'll go down looking.
Nelliman does an excellent job pounding that inside corner here. Freezes her up right on the corner. Look at Mora's frame job, too. That's great 1-2 punch.
Marty McDaniel asks a lot of his catchers and their framing ability to help his pitching staff. Now with 2 outs, here's Cami Pereira. She was a strikeout victim her last time, and that's saying something for Nelliman to get out of that big spot, retiring Pereira in that fashion. Mora held it there for a moment. Didn't get the call.
Yeah, that screwball is really working for Nelliman. Falling a little too far away against the lefty, though.
With Ansley Gilstrap on deck, the Tigers have a run here in the third to get the lead.
A mighty hack there by Pereira.
Clemson has stranded 3 runners already. See Matamore at second, Kegels at first. That pitch gets away and the runners will move up. Matamore now at third, Kegel followed behind her into second.
Yeah, wild pitch. Mora not able to come up with it behind the plate. Allows runners now in scoring position.
You see Moore employing that one-knee catching style. Gave a great target right there for Nelliman to deliver. And we'll go 3-2 now on Cami Pereira. Lined over the head of the right fielder, Roper. This will score a couple of runs. That's the big swing of the bat that Clemson was looking for as Cami Pereira delivers. It's a 2-run double, and the Tigers have put a crooked number on the board here in the third. It's a 3-0 lead for the Tigers.
You had Brianna Roper out there in right, playing a little bit shallow, and Pereira got every bit of that one. Hung a little too far up in the zone. Hits the fence a couple inches high.
So Cami Pereira delivers.
You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying.
Lee Morales is speaking with the home plate umpire while Marty McDaniel has gone to the circle to talk with the freshman, Blake Nelliman.
Nelliman struggling a bit with control today and commanding of her zones. Overall, not a bad performance, but just couldn't capitalize on the zone.
We'll see Morgan Bruce in relief. We'll tell you about the new yellow. Super senior Morgan Bruce will relieve Blake Nelliman as Clemson has finally broken through here in the third inning. Big swing of the bat coming from Cami Pereira. That line double to the wall in right field. Plating 2 and giving the Tigers this 3-0 advantage.
Morgan Bruce is an excellent compliment here to Blake Nelliman. While Nelliman is going to primarily throw those up pitches, Bruce is going to primarily throw a heavy ball, work those drop balls, mix her speeds a little bit, and ultimately draw a lot of ground balls, which is what they need to get out of this inning.
She'll face Ansley Gilstrap here. The Tigers shortstop batting with that runner at second base. They'll make sure everybody is together on the signs. When they change pitchers, everyone swapped out wristbands. We've got a different repertoire of pitches when you're talking about Blake Nelliman versus Morgan Bruce.
It's a matrix.
Ball 1 to start off Gilstrap. Bruce, a player who decided to come back for a second go-round as a senior. Nice change of speeds, evening the count. And there were decisions involved, especially for Georgia Tech-type student athletes. Do I stay? Do I go? I've got opportunities out in the world, but I love playing softball.
Right. Bruce was one, I believe, who had some job opportunities lined up. Great grab by Salio.
Could not get the runner at first, but dazzling range, quick footwork to get to her feet, and then she's got a great arm. Just not enough to get Gilstrap.
Great work by Saleo, and that's the type of infield work that makes Morgan Bruce an excellent pitcher. She's going to draw those ground balls, and Saleo able to come up with it and stop another RBI.
Does save a run. Runners at the corners now with 2 down. And here's JoJo Hyatt for the second time this afternoon. She struck out her first time against the Yellow Jackets starter. Nelman wound up striking out 4 hitters in 2 2/3 innings. Runner will take second uncontested. They weren't about to risk giving Pereira a chance to break for home.
Let's go loud here. This is big.
Bruce worked in relief of Nelliman yesterday against Florida State. Worked 3 2/3 innings against the Seminoles.
Great
Pitch
work
here.
by Bruce.
Swing and a miss. Great job by Bruce to get the Yellow Jackets out of any further harm. A productive third inning, though, for Clemson. The Tigers get 3 runs on a couple of hits, and they go to the bottom of the third, leading this game in Atlanta. You see the line score in this one, and Clemson able to get some big hits there in that third inning to take the lead. Valerie Cagle now can work to the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Georgia Tech lineup.
Cagle has done an excellent job through the first time through this lineup. Throwing that drop ball spin, working in on her batters, drawing the shallow ground ball to third base. 4 of them so far with 2 Ks mixed in. The next time through this lineup, we need to see some adjustments out of Georgia Tech.
Bailey Zeitler leads things off for the Yellow Jackets. Taking ball 1. Zeitler, sophomore out of Canton, Georgia, and Sequoia High School.
Zeitler, a really athletic addition to this lineup. She's going to work gap to gap and make things happen when she gets on base.
Count evens at 1-1. Pitcher's pitch right there. Not much Zeitler could have done with that.
Zeitler played baseball until I think she was about 13, and then she switched over to softball. So you see some of that baseball swag in her game.
Make sure that gate's closed, guys.
2-1 now.
Cagle again doing an excellent job working the zone, not giving the Yellow Jackets much great stuff to hit.
Feels like she's keeping them off balance a little more now here in this third inning.
She is, and I think this is a really patient Georgia Tech offense, but the ones that they're going to choose to hit, they got to get their barrels out and work that drop ball.
Went up and got that one to foul it away. Cagle's worked you down a couple of times. She's come back upstairs.
Those north-south pitchers are really hard to track, in my opinion, as a hitter.
Bottom fell out of that.
I mean, look at that drop movement. That ball just looks heavy coming in. She's doing an excellent job. Just dips right out of the zone.
Back-to-back strikeouts dating back to the second inning now for Cagle. She'll face Jen Saleo. See Saleo for the first time batting out of the 9-hole. She'll look at a strike. She started out playing baseball as well when she was 3.
Starting them young.
Then her dad started to realize just how competitive softball was, and looking at how she handled baseball, let's get her out there on the softball diamond, and she's a really good-looking prospect.
I really like Saleo in this 9 spot. She's going to bring a lot of variety to her offense and does a great job turning the lineup.
Freshman from Decula. This is going to be a tough play, and it's a bunt base hit. You wanted a base runner? That's one way to get it.
That is excellent execution there by Saleo. All the way through this lineup, having a hard time really getting a hold of one. So I'll turn around and bunt for a base hit. Great choice by Saleo. And that was textbook. Floated right in no man's land.
Great footwork on the run-up. Dropping it down. So Saleo is at first. Emma Kauf now in the top of the order for the Yellow Jackets.
And that's your job in that 9 spot, to kind of be a second leadoff.
Showing bunt to take a pitch and allow Saleo to steal second successfully. Need to generate something, and they're using Saleo almost in a second leadoff style position right there. And now Kauf's got a chance to drive someone in.
And that's what you got to do. You got to capitalize once someone gets on, and kind of Saleo's taking it into her own hands, turned a single into a double.
A ball and a strike now.
Brings Kauf. Kauf really does an excellent job working gap to gap. I think with this inside drop that she's been seeing, it's really hard to kind of pick that pitch to hit.
1-2. Kauf being selective. And she grounded out to third her last time around. Yellow Jackets looking to answer back after Clemson put 3 runs on the board in the top half of this inning for the 3-0 lead. Saleo with an aggressive secondary lead, reading that ball in the dirt.
Really aggressive there. I'm wondering if that was a hesitation or intentional. JoJo Hyatt holding her ground well.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Brianna Roper on deck. Fouled into the dirt at home plate. Hyatt will take a little walk to the mound after getting nicked up a little bit there.
Giving herself a few minutes and some encouraging words. Back at it. Oh man, it's a tough one. Handles it well.
Back to work for JoJo Hyatt. Set a target now for a 2-2 pitch to Emma Kauf. Got her to roll over. Mishandled, however, and everyone is safe.
With less than 2 outs and a runner with speed in scoring position, not a bad choice to work a ground ball to the right side. Matamore not able to come up with it. Kind of mishits, works that ground ball enough to advance the runner. Matamore just kind of bobbled in there. And coming off the series that she's had, you know, that's sometimes enough. I think Kauf is happy to get on base, and this kind of helps starts to shift the momentum.
Runners at the corners for the Yellow Jackets. Roper takes ball 1. He was scored an infield hit for Kauf. Matamore is going to have a tough play if she does pick it up. You either sweep tag Kauf going by, or you have to go 180 and make a throw with a runner in between you and the bag.
The location of that ground ball was just in the right spot.
Called strike. It's 1-1. Best opportunity the Yellow Jackets have had so far. Runners at first and third with 1 away. And the heart of the order coming around. Roper to be followed by Stanford and Awald. Off speed, winds up low. So 2-1.
Roper, another, preseason ACC selection, who is absolutely in the heart of the lineup. She's one that is going to, she maintains great composure, and she comes in clutch in these big situations.
A different look that time, running up on the pitch.
Yeah, if you are on the left side, a lot of times you're going to see some lefty hitters who are also able to walk through some slapping steps. And sometimes that's what you need. If you're not seeing the ball very well, why not try to kind of shorten things up and poke it through?
Count goes full to 3-2. Soleil's the runner at third base. She got this potential rally started with a bunt. Calf at first. Jackets haven't hit the ball out of the infield. Ground ball. The first baseman, Mattimore, takes it. They'll get a run, though. They trade an out for a run as Soleil comes in. An RBI for Brianna Roper, and it's 3-1 as the Yellow Jackets get on the board.
It's good work there by Brianna Roper. Obviously would have rather connected with it a little bit more square, but a ground ball to the right side scores a run, and this is the type of game you got to chip away one by one.
Now here's Cameron Stanford. Yellow Jackets left fielder struck out her first time. Run on 2 hits now on the game for the Yellow Jackets. Again, they haven't hit the ball out of the infield, but it's become a productive third inning. Cagle will take care of this herself, and the Jackets go down in the third, but not before scoring a run. The leadoff for the one-out bunt. Masks on, coats on, ski caps on. It's a little cool, certainly by Atlanta standards, at Mewborn Field here on the Georgia Tech campus on this Saturday afternoon.
Breaking out the moves, happy to be there. We do know attendance is very modified with player guests. Only a very select few students allowed in. The Mew crew is also one who is allowed, which is the group of super fans.
They saw the Yellow Jackets get a run in the bottom of the third. A 3-1 Clemson lead as the number 9 hitter Casey Bigham will face Tech reliever Morgan Bruce. First pitch swinging. Little pop-up out on the grass that Bailey Zeitler can handle. 1 pitch, 1 out. Go to the top of the order here in the Clemson fourth. Here's Mackenzie Clark.
On fire so far today. Cannot keep her off the bases. Morgan Bruce looking to change that here.
We've gotten a first-hand example of what Mackenzie Clark is capable of. Ground ball. Soleil got leather on it. Clark had a notion to go for 2 to tell you what kind of base turner she can be. They'll be happy to make her stop it first, although Jen Soleil saying, hey, my bad.
Yeah. That
would have been asking a lot to make that play with Clark headed for first.
That would have been a major play. I'm not even sure it would have resulted in an out. That backhand working through, she kind of hesitated a bit and went for the dive and wasn't able to come up with it.
A 1-out infield single. Of course, Clark is running. Throw almost had her, but it gets by and into center field, and she's going to go first to third.
I think there was a little bit of interference there with Soleil at second, which gave her third regardless. Soleil stood on second base a little bit too long.
I'm interested to watch the replay and see the ball arriving as Clark arrived on the scene.
Yeah, that was really
that was a potential
bang.
Up.
Yes. The throw was on the money. Beautiful pitch there by Bruce.
Let's watch this again and get the big picture.
Yeah, throw right there. Looks like Clark's foot kind of interfered a bit with Saleo being able to come up with the ball, and then Saleo interfered with Clark taking that next base.
Took the outside pitch and flares it behind first base. Clark a threat to tag, and Bailey Zeitler was so heads up right there to save a run perhaps.
Great heads up work there by Zeitler, making the grab and immediately heads up looking for where Clark is.
Under normal circumstances, this is a very innocent play. But then you remember who's involved at third base.
And making
Zeitler
that throw.
was so alert.
Exactly, making that throw in tag territory, working that low left side.
So 2 outs, the speedy runner at third base for the pitcher Valerie Cagle. Cagle struck out and walked. She's seeing Morgan Bruce for the first time in this game. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Top of the fourth in Atlanta. Clemson and Georgia Tech meeting for the first time ever in softball. Longtime rivals in so many other sports. The chopper, nice
beautiful
pick.
grab.
And they get Cagle at first. That was quite an inning in the field by Bailey Zeitler. And Clemson comes away empty in the fourth inning. The pop-up and holding the runner at third was one thing. This just as well saved a run in the Yellow Jacket. This conference pod at Atlanta has brought together a tremendous amount of talent. You're talking about a couple of nationally ranked teams in Florida State and Virginia Tech. This Clemson team we're watching right now has 3 players on the preseason All-ACC team, including Valerie Cagle in the circle. Fans are getting a good look at some of the best the ACC has to offer here this weekend.
And Cagle is absolutely showing out in good company with Hannah Goodwin and Marissa Gombarda. But Cagle has given Georgia Tech offense absolutely nothing to really work with. Georgia Tech did a great job last inning of kind of shortening things up and manufacturing a run. But overall, Cagle, that drop ball is falling in for a strike. And when it does, it's really lethal.
Trisha Awald, Crosby Huckabee, and Mallory Black will get their second look at Valerie Cagle. And the Yellow Jackets were able to scratch out a run against Cagle just an inning ago. I think Morales looking for her team to try and chip away a little bit more here.
And with that drop ball, I mean, barrel control is totally important. You have to have that strong barrel down and up, working it through.
Good eye by Awald to take ball 1. Awald grounded to third, her first time up. Her average still sky high at 480 so far on the year as the Yellow Jackets play their 9th game of the season.
She just brings so much power to the bat and to this lineup. She hits an opposite field line drive harder than anyone I've ever seen.
Chance to look for her pitch here on 2-0. Got it, laced it at the third baseman, Casey Bigham. She has been on top of things time after time already this afternoon.
Give that woman a raise. Bigham has been on point, absolutely handling that hot corner. Just as I was talking about how hard Awald can really get behind those opposite field line drives.
The hardest hit ball the Yellow Jackets have had so far this afternoon. Here's Crosby Huckabee. Huckabee taking strike 1. What a the swing of the bat she had yesterday in that game against Florida State. That home run that she hit, mammoth is the first word that comes to mind. Over the scoreboard, headed out towards the old O'Keefe building beyond left field.
Yeah, Crosby Huckabee she packs a lot of punch in that bat. hit her 100th RBI in opening weekend, and really just a clutch batter in this lineup.
And you see the area that Crosby Huckabee drove a pitch to yesterday against Florida State. Mewborn Field opened in 2009, and it took tremendous vision to recognize what they had to work with. The old O'Keefe High School is in its own way like Camden Yards in Baltimore to me. The skyline lends such atmosphere, such a great setting for softball.
It really is. I mean, that skyline, especially in a night game, there is nothing like it. It's a work of art. I love the placement of this field.
Folks at Clemson are mighty proud of their new facility as well, and the way it is set in the campus, in amongst all of their tremendous facilities there.
Yeah, McWhorter Stadium in the inaugural season nabbed a game with the 4th highest nationally ranked attendance at over 25,000 people joining that game.
We've talked about John Rittman having to be a salesman. The Clemson community has been some of his best salesmen. When they see a recruit come through. Ground ball to third. This is one that Bigham could not handle.
It's excellent adjustment there by Crosby Huckabee. With a drop ball pitcher, you gotta hit the ball hard on the ground, and that's exactly what she did. She got enough on it, almost kind of in the 5-6 hole. Bigham does a great job of keeping it in the infield, but not able to come up with it for the out.
The adjustment that she has had to make from second base to third base, which becomes a pure reflex position so often.
And you think about the timing difference that you have from second to third. I mean, it's a lot.
Hit in the air to right, could be trouble, beyond the reach of Goombarda and to the wall. Huckabee to third. She had to make sure that ball was going to drop, but the Yellow Jackets have finally gotten some big rips here in the 4th inning. It started with that bullet that Awald hit, the hot shot by Huckabee, and now Black getting into one. Runners at second and third. That runner at second represents a potential tying run right now with one out and Bianca Mora coming up.
And this is the difference between a good and a great team. That first time through the lineup, Cagle had their number, and now you're starting to see some adjustments. You're starting to see the bats digging out those low pitches, better pitch selection. And 2 of the major momentum shifts came from freshmen.
Mora getting the start as the Jackets catcher. She struck out her first time. You've got Huckabee at third. Black with the double moments ago at second. A 3-1 Clemson lead, but Georgia Tech, having scored a run just an inning ago, is looking for more here on their home turf. Watching body language, you can sense that Cagle is in a jam right now. Released the pitch, was looking at the dirt shortly thereafter, wishing she had better location. Ground ball. The runners will hold. They've got an opportunity. A runner is hung up. Throwback to third. Everyone will be safe. In the end, Clemson got what they want. They retired the runner at first, held the runners, but it was precarious for a moment.
It was, and that's exactly what Mal Black was intending to do. Try to kind of be a distraction, make things happen, get herself in somewhat of a pickle to allow Crosby Huckabee to pass. But I think you saw great work there by Matamore, able to hold both runners at second and third.
So 2 runners still in scoring position, 2 outs in the inning. What do you talk about on the mound now? Everyone's in there on the infields, and they're studying scouting reports.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're talking about the base runners that are on base, and for Cagle particularly, you have 2 outs. You've been so dominant throughout this game. Stay within yourself, keep doing what you're doing, and make that drop-off all in for a strike.
Cagle working to Bailey Zeitler. Well-located first pitch strike. Zeitler struck out her last time. It was shortly thereafter that the Yellow Jackets started to figure Cagle out. They've gotten one run across in the third. They're trying to cash in here for more in the fourth. A line shot. Zeitler delivers. One run will score. Black took the big turn, has to scramble back. But another big swing of the bat here for the Yellow Jackets in the fourth inning. They've hit a lot of balls hard, and they're getting results. It's now a one-run game.
That's outstanding work by Zeitler, showing out defensively and now evening things out offensively. Taking a ball up in the zone, back up the middle. Huckabee scores easy. Black thought about it, changed her mind.
Clark in center field is a defensive game changer. Got on it in a hurry, straight through. Matamore cut it off, but if they didn't need to cut it off, that pitch was, or that throw was going to be right on the money to the catcher. Thus the reason that Black held.
And that's why that throw, that from center field is so important, or from any area in the outfield. You have to throw it on a line hard enough to get the out at home, but also low enough to be caught or to be cut if needed.
Jen Soleo with a sling. I think a foul tip into the glove right there. It's 0-2. Soleo was the player who got the Yellow Jackets going with her bunt base hit with one out in the third. That got the Yellow Jackets their first run. Now she's looking to maybe tie this game up if she can deliver a base hit here. You've got Mallory Black at third. Soleo fouled that ball down off her foot, which can't feel comfortable on a somewhat cold day here in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Calf, ankle, more than foot.
Yeah, it looked somewhere along that knee plane there.
Runners have to hold. JoJo Hyatt helping her pitcher out. A ball and 2 strikes to Jen Soleo. Yellow Jackets freshman shortstop out of Decula.
Hyatt working overtime there with that frame job.
Two balls and 2 strikes. A lot of energy out of the Georgia Tech dugout. Big moment of the game for the Yellow Jackets. And Soleo battling, grounds it foul to the Clemson dugout.
Soleo protecting that zone. Big spot to be in here.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order on deck. 2 outs in the fourth. And the count's going to go full. With Black at third and Zeitler at second. Big spot for freshman Jen Soleo. Matamore to Pereira covering. 3-4 on the putout. Yellow Jackets got a run in that fourth, but Cagle got out of further trouble. Coming into this game, we talked about how Clemson and Georgia Tech in softball had the potential to be another fantastic rivalry. And here we are in the first meeting ever between these two teams, and we've got a one-run game as we move to the fifth. That'll be the middle of the order for the Tigers here. Gumbarda, Stewart, and Pereira facing Georgia Tech reliever Morgan Bruce.
Yeah, coming into this series, I was really excited about this matchup. I think we're seeing a lot of really good competition here, seeing some in-game adjustments, and it's really going to come down to, I think a matter of 1, maybe 2 runs here.
Gumbarda looked like she just wanted to see a pitch from Bruce right there. It's her first time facing the Tech reliever. Gumbarda was 0 for 1 with a sac fly against Tech starter Blake Nelliman.
Lombardo, one of those preseason All-ACC selections, brings a ton of power to this offense.
She had 11 home runs, 4th in the nation last year in the abbreviated season in her Clemson debut.
Right, 11 home runs is not too shabby. And then when you consider a short season.
A comebacker, easy work for Bruce. He's got the leadoff hitter set down here in the 5th.
Bruce fields her position well. Straight to Ewald.
Now here's Abby Stewart, Clemson's DP. Stewart has walked and struck out. She's also seeing Bruce for the first time and taking a strike. Stewart just 1 for 14 to start the season. She bats out of the 5-hole in John Rittman's lineup. Bruce again getting ahead of the count at 0-2.
Bruce doing a great job working inside on right-handed hitters. And attacking early. She's really dominant getting ahead.
Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Bruce in relief. She's doing a tremendous job of keeping this Clemson lineup in check.
After pounding the zone inside twice, she comes in with that heavy drop ball. Really hard to hold off on.
Six strikeouts overall for Georgia Tech pitchers. Pereira there threatening with one of her tools. He's a player who can bunt and slap a little bit.
Showed some power showed some gap power her last at bat. Both times she's been up so far this game, there's been runners in scoring position, so we haven't seen her break out this slapping tool.
Running up on that one.
And you're seeing a lot more of that in this climate of softball today, whereas you used to see a lot of slapper onlys or those who had one tool, which was to hit it hard in the ground and just like that and beat it out.
She does just
Very
that,
textbook.
beating it out on the chopper. Again, the rule change, the footwork required to slap hit, has changed the game for some players, but Pereira was expert right there.
I mean, look at that. Let the ball get deep, hit it hard, a matter of inches. And Georgia Tech infield is a fairly hard field, and she plays it beautifully. But think about what an arsenal that is for Pereira. She has the capacity to slap a ball like that, safe, and hit balls up the middle. Great work there by Gilstrap.
Another 2-out single. Talk about how Pereira has just changed this inning with the slap hit, giving Gilstrap a chance to advance her to third. Clemson needs some insurance here and trying to do so with 2 outs. JoJo Hyatt coming up.
Yeah, Pereira has definitely been the star of this offense so far today. She's made things happen and been the game changer.
Her 2-run double in the third to help open up what was a 3-run Clemson lead at that time. We're in the top of the 5th inning here. Hyatt has struck out twice. Throw down to second, the cutoff play as Zeitler came in there. They were ready to make a move on Pereira if she tried to steal home.
Yeah, first and third situations, especially when you have a quick runner at third, sometimes you do want to attempt on a throw to see what that runner's going to do. It's a risky move, but it's one that can kind of make things happen.
Beautiful drop right there.
Looks like she took a little off of that pitch too. That was a dangerous pitch there by Bruce.
One ball and one strike. One and two now. Hyatt 2 for 9 on the season. Chance to drive and a run for the first time in the young campaign. Pereira at third, Gilstrap at second. Tried to paint the corner. We'll go to 2 and 2.
One.
Casey Bigham would be next. Morgan Bruce trying to leave runners stranded. Clemson has left 6 runners on base in this game,
which has not been something they've done a lot of so far this season.
Some folks are asking, where was that pitch?
Very close. That one was, if I'm Hyatt, I'm probably swinging at that one. I think it missed just a little bit high.
It leads to a payoff pitch. And we'll do it again at 3 and 2.
Hyatt battling well here.
Three balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Finds a hole. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score as JoJo Hyatt delivers, driving in runs for the first time this year and giving Clemson a 5-2 lead.
That's a huge way to answer back 2 strikeouts, coming in big with runners in scoring position. She takes that outside pitch, hits it hard on the ground through that 3-4 hole. Especially with runners in scoring position, that right side is exactly where you want to go. And look at Gilstrap taking it upon herself to take that base.
Bigham hits one to second. Tough play by Zeitler. They get the out at first. Clemson gets a couple of runs, just what they were looking. Another look at some of the fans who've bundled up and come out for this afternoon's 3rd game of the day here in the ballpark. The first game of a 3-game series between Clemson and Georgia Tech. And again, all a part of this conference pod, which is taking place at Mewborn Field here on the Georgia Tech campus this weekend. Opening weekend of Atlantic Coast Conference play. Yellow Jackets saw Florida State leading into this stretch of 6 games in 4 days, while Clemson hosted Virginia Tech back home in Pickens County before making the trek down to Atlanta to wrap up this stretch of 6 games in 4 days for the Tigers. Valerie Cagle back to work. Those couple of runs there in the 5th inning give her a nice cushion now, a 5-2 lead as she faces Emma Kauf. Kauf again serving as the DP for the Yellow Jackets here today.
Yeah, Cagle fighting back on some excellent adjustments made offensively by this Georgia Tech lineup. I think she, too, is also working on making some in-game adjustments, painting those corners a little bit. She left a few too far in the zone last inning, and they got capitalized on.
Kauf, although one of the Tech catchers, does bat out of the leadoff spot, and Eileen Morales describes her in a nice way as a ridiculous athlete. Someone who can catch, who could play in the infield, play in the outfield.
I think that's an apt analysis. Like, she does it all. She really is an athlete. That's a great word.
Matamore to her second baseman, Pereira, covering. So 1 out in the Georgia Tech 5th inning.
Number 21, Brianna Roper.
Brianna Roper up there. She drove in a run. You get the Yellow Jackets on the board in the 3rd. Clemson scored 3 runs in the 3rd, added 2 at the just completed top of the 5th, while the Yellow Jackets put single runs on the board in the 3rd and the 4th. Cagle's already thrown 2 complete games this year. She gets a ground ball to short. Gilstrap retires Roper, and they're 2 away on ground balls here in the 5th. Clemson infield has been really busy in this game.
They have, and with a pitcher like Cagle, you're gonna be busy, particularly on that 5-6 area. And I mean, Bingham being one of them who has just eaten it up, and that's really important when you do have a drop ball pitcher to have a strong infield behind you.
Two-way and the base is empty for Cameron Stanford. She'll get a ball in the dirt to start things off. Stanford is 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out looking and capped back to the circle. Two balls, no strikes.
This Georgia Tech offense not seeing as much production from their top four in the lineup like they're historically used to. I think you're seeing the bulk of the production happening in the bottom third.
Cameron Stanford, two-time All-ACC. In a 3-0 count now. Getting back to playing in left field. She's seen time in center field as well during her Georgia Tech career. Taking on 3-0. Yellow Jackets need some base runners here.
Yeah, last inning did a great job kind of chipping away, stringing together some hits, and things went right for him, cutting that lead, but Clemson answered back.
Ground ball up the third base line. Count goes full to 3-2. Go back in the history between these two schools. They first met in football in 1898, played baseball in 1902, and finally meeting in softball here in 2021.
It's been a long time coming.
Payoff pitch. Ground ball. Bingham was ready for it. It was fair. Tried again at 3-2.
Stanford has some excellent power, really good lift in her swing. When she really gets a hold of one, it's a beautiful thing.
Tried again on 3-2. Easier chance for Bingham this time. Seen her do plenty of great work over there at third base in this game, supporting Valerie Cagle, who is limited. Twilight in Atlanta as we head to the late innings here at Mewborn Field. Clemson leading Georgia Tech 5-2, and we'll see our third pitcher of the afternoon and now into the evening for the Yellow Jackets as Maddie McPherson, the redshirt junior transfer out of Plains, Georgia, will head into the circle.
Yeah, McPherson really does a great job complimenting this staff. She's going to work both sides of the plate. She'll bring a rise. She'll work some off speed. She kind of has a big arsenal here, and with that kind of left hand, it gives another perspective. And so I think the goal here is just to continue to keep those Clemson hitters off base.
As noted, McPherson from Plains, the home of Jimmy Carter, who in his day attended Georgia Tech for a couple of years before going to the Naval Academy. The building in which he lived in the dormitories still exists up on the hill on the Tech campus. McPherson starts off a tough leadoff hitter, Mackenzie Clark, with a little bit of heat right there, a swinging strike one. Clark on base 3 times in this game out of the leadoff spot. We're watching her emerge as the player that they envision her being for 4 years at Clemson, setting the table. McPherson gets ahead of her. It's 0-2.
Yeah, looking at some of these high performing players, and then you remember that they're freshmen or what was the word? Mature freshmen.
Experienced freshmen. Mature is a good word, though, too.
Yeah, and you just think about what a high ceiling this Clemson program has.
Tough play. Awald got back there nicely. On the foul pop, there's one out in the Clemson 6th as they finally retire Clark for the first time in the game.
Number 27, Grace Mattimore.
Now here's Grace Mattimore. Mattamore's been on base a couple of times. A single in the first. She walked and scored in the third. Popped out her last time.
Yeah, Clark was pretty aggressive in that first at bat, not allowing Mattamore to see many pitches. So I think you're going to see a little bit of patience here.
Mattamore, who if you follow her college career, is someone who does not mind a challenge. Again, originally went to the U.S. Military Academy. Takes up high. She said, I was never one for normal. I've always wanted something possibly eccentric and definitely challenging. She certainly got that in going to West Point. And then you got a chance to start on the ground floor of an ACC softball program. Hey, sign me up for that.
I love that. And that's a great mindset. That's exactly the type of culture you want, especially in such a new program.
Not easy getting into West Point, by the way. You know that.
Right. And, I mean, that's a great mindset to have. It elevates your game in softball, sure, but also turns into kind of a superpower later on in life to be, you know, seeking that challenge and really continuing to grow.
2-1 the count on the right-handed hitter.
McPherson working that inside corner.
I'm looking at a lefty like McPherson, and you mentioned earlier how Marty McDaniel worked with Monica Abbott. Oh, yeah. Great lefty.
That's a resume that I want in a coach.
Mattamore was headed for first. Come back, young lady.
Yeah, trying to sell it.
3-2.
Oh, yeah, works that outside a little low, but not low enough.
Payoff pitch to Grace Mattamore. Hit it hard. Watch out down there, John Rittman. Do it again at 3-2. Valerie Cagle, the Tigers pitcher, on deck. Clemson with the 5-2 lead in the top of the sixth. There, Mattamore gets ball 4. It's her second walk of the game.
It's a great at-bat by Mattamore, staying patient, fighting off the pitches she didn't want, ultimately won that battle.
So runner at first with 1 out for Valerie Cagle. Cagle's 0 for 2. Again, she pitches and bats out of the 3-hole in the Tigers lineup. Looked at a strike. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Blake Nelliman and Morgan Bruce preceded McPherson in the circle this evening. A couple of right-handers that Cagle saw previously. Chopper, they get the force.
That was a close one. Mattamore really legged that one out, just not quite in time. So Leo does a good job, or Mal Black does a good job coming up with it.
Black was well positioned off the line so that she could cut it off. If the third baseman's not there, Soleil's got a tough play.
Yeah.
Everyone may be safe.
And that's the job of the third baseman, you got to work and partner with your shortstop, because sometimes the ones that you cut off, your shortstop might have a better play on, but your job is to cover the ground that you can. And especially as somebody who's, you know, traditionally not used to playing that hot corner, she uses her reflex as well.
Here's Marissa Goumbarda. Goumbarda with a hot shot to left field. Cagle goes to third. And in behind the play is Goumbarda. They've got 2 runners in scoring position now.
That was muscled up. Great work there by Goumbarda.
Goumbarda will depart. They'll get a runner for her at second. So you see the runner, Aaliyah Bagalio, out there for the Tigers.
16, 25, 9, 13.
Clemson thinking they might need a little more insurance. A 5-2 lead is nice.
Now hitting number 13.
But you've got
Stewart.
runners at second and third with 2 outs here in the 6th. And Abby Stewart coming up.
Yeah, and speed kills, so to be able to have some base running depth is an excellent option to have if I'm Coach Rittman.
And we'll see Sarah Howell here batting in Stewart's spot. Called strike. Howell, a true freshman out of Oxford, Alabama, listed as a catcher and utility player. Two outs and a pair of runners in scoring position for Clemson. Got under it. Will there be a play? Black pulls it down in foul ground. And Clemson leaves a couple of players in. Now under the lights at Mewborn Field in Midtown Atlanta. Clemson leads Georgia Tech 5-2 in the opening game of this 3-game series. A doubleheader tomorrow between these same two teams. Valerie Cagle's been good for the Tigers. She's limited Georgia Tech to 2 runs on 5 hits.
Yeah, she's done an excellent job managing. There's been 2 times when Georgia Tech offense has really threatened a couple times, but she's getting excellent support from her offense, who's really kind of led the charge here and been able to stay ahead all game.
See the numbers on Cagle. She's retired the last 4 in a row, all on ground balls. A couple of times that she's gotten into a pretty good groove. And the Yellow Jackets got single runs in the 3rd and the 4th. Trisha Awald is 0 for 2, but she kind of set an example for her teammates the last time up, hitting a bullet line drive to 3rd. Yellow Jackets would get a couple more good swings in that 4th inning to get a run.
Man, that's a tough pitch to hit. She's been throwing a lot that don't look very in the zone, and then the one that she throws is off speed.
Nice location. It's 0-2.
Working ahead early.
We've been there, man. We've been there.
Talk about the mental endurance you have to pitch through 6 innings so far and also hit.
She continues to go away to Awald, who was a hitter who's willing to go with that pitch the other way.
Very much so. So it's really key that she keeps that zone down. It's a great 2-pitch spot.
This is a battle of wills right here. Cagle's trying to spot that pitch. Awald's not going to bite.
And this is a very patient offense, which I think sometimes plays to her advantage here for Cagle.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Crosby Huckabee on deck. Count full to 3-2. Without swinging the bat, this is a marvelous at bat for Awald.
Agreed.
Watch it on the line. It's a foul ball.
Get a free sprint in.
Another 3-2 pitch. Cagle to Awald. There she went again. Down that 3rd baseline, but foul by just a matter of a foot, maybe even just inches.
Yeah, she does an excellent job seeing that ball all the way in and typically has great opposite field connection.
To second base for Pereira. More ground balls. Clemson infield has been really good behind.
That's
Valerie
great
Cagle.
range. Great range there by Pereira. Being able to, you got to make that decision whether you're going to backhand it or move over, and she has great footwork, able to field it clean and get the out.
Pereira, the junior from Winston-Salem. This Clemson infield has been very tight. Bigham at third, Gilstrap at short, Pereira at second, and Matamore at first. Call strike to Huckabee.
Once again, Cagle's working that kind of floater, higher pitch in first to get ahead.
Hard hit to left field. A one-out single for Crosby Huckabee. She's got 2 hits in this game.
Huckabee seeing the ball really well, and her timing is on point today. Gets that barrel out in front of it, stays through, pokes it into left field.
6 hits now for Georgia Tech.
Looks like Kinley Stewart coming in, who's been great in a pinch running capacity. Again, utilizing that base running depth, especially in closer games where every 60 feet counts.
Stewart, the experienced freshman out of Lawrenceville. Now here's Mallory Black, the true freshman third baseman for the Jackets.
Black with an excellent hit to right field, deep right field, her last at bat.
Her double came in the midst of Georgia Tech's scoring effort in the 4th inning. Single runs in the 3rd and the 4th. Two balls, no strikes.
Black, one of the excellent members of this highly touted freshman class, 17th ranked recruiting class coming into the year. (3-0).
Cagle in pursuit of her 3rd pitching victory of the season. She's had a couple of complete games. Tigers playing in their 6th game of the year. There's the strike she was looking for. It's 3-1.
Yeah, that's a great one to swing at. Understand you got 3-0.
Round ball, Gilstrap to shortstop. Matamore can't dig it out.
Cagle does an excellent job jamming up Black a little bit on her hands.
We'll see it again and watch how Gilstrap handled this one, having to go towards the hole.
Great footwork. Matamore just not able to come up with it.
In time if you can make the dig. So runners at first and second with 1 out. That's a single for Mallory Black. With Stewart at second, Bianca Mora takes the strike. Mora has struck out and grounded to short. Getting the start as the Jackets catcher here in game 1 of this series. Fouled it at the plate, and it's 0-2.
Mora, again, one of those players that the coaching staff was particularly excited about preseason. Somebody who's worked really hard to kind of fight and claw for a starting lineup spot. And they tested her a bit in the first base position, and that really woke Trisha Awald up, who's been performing excellently, and that's what depth can do to elevate a program.
Ground ball to third. Bigham thought about getting the lead runner. Throws to first. They get the out there.
Yeah, Kinley Stewart, no one there to take the toss and tag her out. But Bigham does a great job kind of reconvening and getting the out where she can. But not before runners in scoring position. Up for Zeitler, who's been seeing the ball pretty well with an excellent line drive up the middle her last at bat.
There have been 17 putouts in this game when Georgia Tech is batting, and Bigham has been involved in 7 of them at third base. Showed bunt. Strike 1 to Bailey Zeitler. There are 2 outs. Got the runners at second and third.
It's a good look there by Zeitler. Not a bad thought by Cagle trying to keep it down.
Zeitler, a singler last time, driving in a run for the Yellow Jackets. They're keeping it low on her. Hyatt's doing a good job, by the way, of not allowing anything to get away. Jen Soleo, the number 9 hitter in the Tech lineup, on deck. We're in the bottom of the 6th here in Atlanta.
Zeitler not looking to chase that low pitch. A lot of patience here. It's definitely a hitter's count.
.107 pitches for Valerie Cagle. Pitch 108 is a called strike, and we go to 3-2.
Brings the count full. Cagle has had her share of deep counts so far this game and has done an excellent job battling through.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners in scoring position. Huge spot for Georgia Tech, trailing by 3. Foul ball. Zeitler's game for a battle right here.
Demeanor does not change. Zeitler is one of the calmer batters I have seen in the box.
Pitcher and catcher meeting. They're trying to figure out a way to put away a stubborn hitter here. Stewart, the runner, at third. Black at second for the Yellow Jackets. Grounded foul. Something's got to give. We'll try it again at 3-2. The first baseman, Mattimore, and the inning is over. Cagle prevails. Her Tigers will go to the top of the 7th. You see the line score in this one. Doesn't tell the story of some of the big pitches that Valerie Cagle has made to dash the hopes of Georgia Tech, most recently leaving 2 runners in scoring position there in that 6th inning. Maddie McPherson trying to hold Clemson right here and give Georgia Tech an honest crack at it in the bottom of the 7th. With Cami Pereira leading off, she hits one foul on the third base line. Pereira's been a tough out, as you can see. The 2-run double is the big swing of the bat in this game. She also singled and scored in that 5th inning. very much a ringleader for the Tigers offensively, personally responsible for 3 of the 5 runs.
Yeah, a really nice change of pace and boost to the bottom third of this lineup.
McPherson's ahead 0-2. Ansley Gilstrap to follow. Then it's JoJo Hyatt. Running up on it with 2 strikes. And 1-2.
McPherson doing a good job working her corners. Not a bad pitch with 2 strikes.
Got her looking right there.
Throws her up with that off speed. That was a beautiful pitch.
Pereira has struck out twice.
Froze her right there.
So McPherson wins the lefty-lefty confrontation. Now here's Ansley Gilstrap.
Another one with 2 hits on the day.
Gilstrap 2 for 3 with a stolen base. She stole 40 bases back in 2018 playing for USC Upstate.
That kind of speed on the base paths is killer. It is the difference in ball games and winning and losing. Ooh. Got away from McPherson a little bit there.
Again, Gilstrap will celebrate her 24th birthday on Wednesday. Discreetly took the 2-0 pitch, and it's 2-1. You want to look to the bottom of the 7th for Georgia Tech. You'll have Soleo, Kauth, and Roper. Patty McPherson trying to make sure it is a 3-run.
It's a great spot there by McPherson. She's really elevating each inning and getting better. Coach McDaniel describes McPherson as a really kind of cerebral pitcher, one who understands the art behind pitching and understands her batters.
For 2-2, that's going to disappear into the night.
Hit the locker room. We've got the campus golf carts back there that sometimes take a beating with those opposite field home runs and foul balls.
Maybe daylight tomorrow before they find that ball, though. Here we go. 2-2 once again. With some English on it. It's handled by Zeitler at second. Two-way.
Again, Zeitler doing a great job in that second base spot, handling her range, fielding her position well. Not the pitch that Gilstrap wants to swing at. Wasn't able to execute well on that one. McPherson's doing a great job keeping balls out of the meat of the zone.
Here's the Clemson catcher, JoJo Hyatt, with 2 down and the bases empty. Hyatt was 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts till she came up in the 5th and delivered a 2-run single. And as you look at this 5-2 score now in the top of the 7th, that's another one of the big swings in the bat for the Tigers. They're trying to get their second ACC win here in the early going. Georgia Tech will need a rally to avoid dropping to 0-4 to start the schedule.
Clemson really showing a complete offense. 6 of their 9 hitters in the lineup have gotten a hit today, and that's how you win, you know, being able to string together hits at the right time and manufacturing some runs.
Overall, it's 5 runs on 10 hits for the Tigers. They've left 9 runners on base. Zeitler takes care of Hyatt, and we will go to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for the Yellow Jackets. Richard Muster and Haley Downs back here at Mewborn Field in Atlanta. First game of a 3-game series between Georgia Tech and Clemson, and it is Jen Soleo, true freshman, who will lead things off for the Yellow Jackets here in the bottom of the 7th. Haley, do you remember this picture?
There we are. So I do not remember this exact picture, but I do remember Jen. She was a consistent camper, and I remember her being at camp and always having that little smile. But that picture definitely reminds me that college was a long time ago. I'm aging, man. There she goes. There she goes, turning that bunt attempt again. Soleo, I think, has found a nice tool for her arsenal, especially in that 9-hole spot. She does have some quickness and is able to bunt for base hits. Her
bunt base hit in the 3rd was the Yellow Jackets' first hit of the game against Cagle. A ground ball here, and it's 0-2.
Soleo having a hard time laying off of that inside pitch, getting jammed up.
No balls, 2 strikes. Emma Kauf, Brianna Roper to follow. Soleo trying to set the table for them, but pops it up foul where Matamore is able to retreat and pull it in. The leadoff hitter is retired in the bottom of the 7th.
And that's a tough, I mean, Cagle is just dominating this inning. She's really pounding the zone here. Soleo not able to execute or really get a hold of any of those pitches, getting jammed up.
You want a key to success for Cagle? Look back at your scorecard. The leadoff hitter in every inning has been retired. Every inning, all 7. Strike 1 to Emma Kauf.
Kauf reached on an error in her second at bat, but so far hasn't been able to really get a hold of one. Hitting into ground balls just like Cagle drawed up.
Good rip there, but foul. 0-2 now. Same 2 teams at a doubleheader tomorrow at 1:30. There's also an early game at Mewborn Field tomorrow between Virginia Tech and Florida State to continue or complete their mini-series within this conference pod. Ball and 2 strikes. Cagle delivering foul down the line. There have been a lot of good swings that have just gone foul for the Yellow Jackets.
You're definitely seeing that offensive adjustment at bat to at bat. You're seeing some changes get made, but just not plating in between those lines.
This is the start of the 4th time through the lineup for Valerie Cagle. At the knees, called strike 3.
Number 21.
Looked a little low and out for Kauf, but fell right in there for a strike for Cagle. Cagle having an excellent 7th inning approach here, while Georgia Tech not delivering here in the 7th inning.
As you saw on that pitching line, her 4th strikeout of the game, her first since back in the 3rd inning. Her defense has been so good for her in this game. Brianna Roper is 0 for 2. She's walked and driven in a run on a ground out. Count evening at 1-1. This would be Cagle's third complete game of the season. It will be her third win in the circle as Clemson bids for their fourth win of the young season. Cameron Stanford next if the Jackets can keep their hopes alive. It's up to Brianna Roper right now. Ground ball to short for Gilstrap with sure hand. She'll throw on to first, and there's your ball game as Clemson comes into Atlanta and wins the first of 3 games between these two teams. The inaugural meeting in softball between Georgia Tech and Clemson goes to the Tigers by a final score of 5-2. Valerie Cagle was terrific in this one and helping Clemson get the W.
Valerie Cagle, the youngster, is giving an absolute veteran performance today. Masterful job in the circle. She gave Georgia Tech nothing great to hit, kept them off balance, and really delivered.
Clemson goes to 4-2 on the year. They're now evening their record at 2-2 in the ACC. The series continues tomorrow with a doubleheader right here in Atlanta on the ACC Network Extra. For Haley Downs, I'm Richard Muster. Thanks for tuning our way to the ACC Network Extra and ACC Softball.